just gonna be honest. I'm not ready. But you remember me mentioning a few days ago, maybe, we don't actually have any major Christmas plans for Christmas itself because Caitlin's in another state and has to work around that because it's in the middle of the week. And my extended family, my husband's side, isn't going to celebrate until January. So I don't really have a lot of shopping to do. It's just basically going to be Caitlin and her boyfriend, our kitties, of course, something a little treaty for them, and my husband and my mom. So not a lot of shopping to do anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. I got my team gifts given yesterday. Yeah, it seemed like a long time ago. And I got my student gifts ready last night. You saw me working on those. And my awesome buddy teacher next door to me, I was talking to her before I left last night and talking about how I'm gonna have to go to Walmart, I think, and get mechanical pencils because I don't know what I did with the ones I had. Because I've given mechanical pencils over the years as part of their gift, like every year for the last umpteen years. And I would have little dibbles of pencils left over each year. I don't know what the heck I do with them each year. I usually have like maybe 4 or 5 left over. I don't know what I did with them. So I probably have 2 class sets of mechanical pencils if I could ever find all the little parts that I've had left over. And she said, oh, well, I have these. And she pulled out a box of mechanical pencils, like a 50 pack. And I was like, oh, those are cool. She goes, they're not Christmas colors. I said, well, I don't worry about that. But she goes, I have these in my class store because she has class cash and her students are not interested in them. They'd rather have candy or save for a bigger prize like extra recess or something like that. So she said, if you end up not going to Walmart or not finding them, you can have these. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So she was getting ready to leave. I went back to my room. Like 2 seconds later, I'm like, I'm gonna go see if she'll just sell those to me because I do not want to go to Walmart. I mean, really did not want to go to Walmart. I just wanted to go home when I was done. So I went over and I said, hey, could I buy those pencils from you? And she goes, I'll just give them to you. And I'm like, no, I'm sure that they cost at least $5. And she's like, please, here, take what you need. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So I picked out 20 pencils. I gave her the rest back. And I didn't have to go to Walmart. I finished the gifts. I didn't have to look for anything else. It was amazing. So shout out to my buddy teacher. I really appreciate you doing that. That was very sweet of you. And kindness will always come back to you. That is not a threat. That is a promise. So today's going to be a good day. It's a half day. Official release time is 12:20 today. That would be when the pickups are picked up. And early buses, but we have late buses that stay a little bit later. But I think that teachers can leave at 1, so I will be on break at 1:01 today, or 1 o'clock and 1 second later, because I'm going to try to get everything done after I dismiss my kids. I don't have after school duty today, so all of my students will be out of my room at noon because they have to get to their dismissal spots to go where they need to go. So I will be taking down the tree. I will be putting away Christmas things and pulling out January things like snowmen. So I always like to have snowy stuff out when the kids come back in January. And if I can find all of my awesome snowflakes, which I got last year and I've had some in years past, I'm gonna try to put them around a little bit. So I need to pull out my snowy stuff. I do know that some of my snowmen, if not all of them, are in my closet at school. And yes, I've been in the closet a little bit lately, and it's not great, but it's not horrible like it was at the beginning of the year. Like I can actually sort of kind of get in there a little bit. I still need to do some heavy duty like purging. I'm not even kidding. Okay, it's like 7:15 and yeah, I'm getting to school pretty good today, pretty good time. So I need to do just a few little things in my classroom, not much. I forgot just a couple things before I left last night, and I'll do them when I get there. But for the most part, everything's done. I set up my desks a different way for the party yesterday, and I just left them like that. And we're gonna do some Grinchy activities today. So I have a mystery picture that they can follow the directions. So that's a following directions thing. That's a standard. Follow the directions to color the squares. It's one of those 100 chart things. Color the squares, certain things. Sorry, it is cold in this car. Woo! And I have, I think I showed you last night that I never got to do the Solve and Build a Gingerbread Man that I got from Amy and Olivia Lemons, where they do math problems and every time they solve a math problem, they get a piece of their gingerbread person. Still sitting in my classroom, completely ready to use. Don't have time for it. Just don't have time. So I just took the gingerbread page itself, the completed one, and I copied it on green. I think I showed you that yesterday. And now it's the Grincherbread Man. So the Grinch is turning the gingerbread man green so the kids can decorate the Grincherbread Man and take it home today. That'll be just a little fun thing to throw in. Also, we're going to have our Grinch floats as our little treat today. And they can, while they're working on something, I'll be getting those ready. So I won't be wasting any time on that. But we don't have a lot of time together. I think we might have, if you put all the little snippets of time in one chunk, we might have an hour and a half together today, all told, because there is a sing-along school-wide in the gym today at 9:15. We have like a 15-minute recess. I don't even remember when that is. It's on my schedule. Really? Yeah, lunch. We do feed the kids. So lunch is at 11:30, and so it'll be over at like 12. But then we get back to our classroom, and we have just enough time basically to say our goodbyes and check our dismissal list for anything that's changed. And bye, kids. Have a great break. See you in 2 weeks. See you next year. It's really fast. So we have to be sure to be packed before that. And if we have just a few minutes, I would like to read a Christmas book or maybe do a daily dendrite. We haven't done those since last week because yesterday we didn't get to it at all. But it'll be, bye guys, love you, see you, miss you. Almost to school. Woo-hoo. I tried to clean out my bin a little bit because it's still probably pretty full of stuff I don't actually need at school all the time, but you never know. I remembered my whipped cream. I remembered my sprinkles. And we're going to be good. And I have some special slippers that I'm going to put on. And I've got a special shirt. It says, in a world full of Grinches, be a Cindy Lou Who. I've got my heart ring on because we're going to finish up growing the Grinch's heart today, and they're going to get their little treat. I told them several different times over, do not take anything home except this note. Do not. So I really hope they listened, because I told them, if I can't see your booklet where you did the work, then I can't give you your treat because I don't know if you did it. So I hope that they remembered that when they were packing. I was saying that as I was sending them off to pack. So let's hope. Let's hope they were using their good ears. Okay, I'm almost there. I'm going to sign off for now. I'll try to remember to show you my outfit. If not, I did take a picture of my shirt for Instagram before I left for school, so I can show you there. It's jeans day today and wear holiday attire, so I was all over that. I'm like, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm there. So I've got my jeans on. I don't know if I showed you my shoes yesterday or not. I have buffalo plaid shoes. Oh yeah, because I'm all about the buffalo plaid this year. That's my thing. So that's something else I need to do when I get to my classroom. I have to remember that, to put something out that I've had hidden a little bit from the kids, and hopefully they've forgotten about it. So yeah, I'm gonna put it right outside my room so it can greet them when they come in, and I will be sure to take a picture or film it or something so you can see what I'm talking about. But like right now, I want it to be a little bit of a surprise. So I'll see you later in the classroom. Hello, it is 4:22 and I am now leaving school. So we could leave at 1 today, but I opted to stay a little bit and get some cleaning done. My room was a hot mess, yeah. A couple of my students that were late buses just kind of hung around a little bit, and I'm like, okay. I wasn't gonna shoo them away, but I didn't let them miss the bus either. They kind of wanted to help clean up a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay. So they just started taking the bulletin board paper down from my garment racks, the Whoville houses. They started taking those down for me so I could roll them up. So I put away 2 of the racks. So that means I have 5 still up. Yeah. But I did get all the houses. I did get all the houses rolled up. So I have 8 houses rolled up. So they're ready for next year if I do that again. And I kind of stacked my December things over by the closet door so that when I come in sometime, I can just switch them out for the January things, because I didn't want to sit there and mess with putting all the January stuff out today. But I can come in sometime and do that. It'll be more relaxing then, because right now I'm just wanting to go home. I also got my lesson plans printed for the first week of January, and I got my materials copied for the first week of January. I got all my Scholastic News and my Science Spin separated, so those are ready to go, and I can figure out what week I want to do which thing, and figured out what I'm doing for Rooted in Reading and got those things done, ready to go. I haven't pulled my book out for that, but I'm so proud of myself for this. This is silly, but I'm proud of myself. So I took all of the December books, plus all of like the beginning of school year books that I hadn't gotten to yet. I put those away where they need to go for beginning of the school year. And I took all of the December books and I put them back on my teacher bookshelf. Then I pulled all of the January books off of the bookshelf, except for I knew I have some Martin Luther King books that I like to use. So I think those might be in my January bin. I haven't been in that bin yet, the little fabric one. I'll do that when I go back, because I don't need anything out of that the first week when I come back. So I got New Year's stuff ready, and I got my Rooted in Reading stuff ready, and I'm going to be doing some testing, so that's going to be a huge chunk of what I do the first couple days of that week. I already had my assessments ready, so those are prepared. I recycled a whole bunch of like leftover worksheets and papers and whatever they were, notes and things I don't need anymore, so I got rid of a chunk of stuff. The big stack of purchase order things that I got that I didn't know what to do with, I found homes for all of that. So I had 2 big boxes of like paper protector sheets, those plastic sheets that you can slide papers into. I had 2 boxes of those, so I put those away. I had like 5 or 6 different colors of Astrobrights, and I got bonus deals on them. So instead of having like 250 pages, they had like 500, so they're a lot bigger, so they'll last me a lot longer. But they wouldn't fit in my paper drawers yet because I'm not completely out. So instead of separating part of it out and having a stack that will fall over, I just opted to keep them all together. I was able to find places in my cabinets for those. I put away some math materials that had needed to be put away for quite a while because I never used them. And I put away some of my science materials, like my magnets that I did for the balloon thing for Thanksgiving time. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. And I had some measuring spoons and cups that I had gotten from like one of those like Books Are Fun displays or collective goods displays that come to your school and you can buy stuff from them. I'd gotten that put away, and there was something else sciencey that I'd ordered with my purchase order, like eyedroppers or something. They were just random things on my back counter. My back counter looks so much better. I found a couple of stacks of books from the book room that I wasn't going to need, so I took them back to the book room. I also found a couple of stacks of books from Scholastic that I had gotten for book club, so I organized those. I did a lot of little things. I took my tree down. I took my train tent down. I don't have those put away yet, but I do have a bin of like Christmassy stuff and December stuff that I'm going to take home, but I don't have everything in it yet. And I thought I'm going to come back sometime because I think I might do some stuff in my room over the break. Maybe I can get some organization going and find all my stuff. I want to find all my snowmen and all that kind of wintry stuff to redecorate things. I did get out my Let It Snow sign, so that's on my little desk outside the room. I took down the little houses and things on that desk, put those away. I took the stockings off the fireplace and I laid those over in the things that need to go into the closet. There are lots of other little things around my room that I could do to tidy up and make it less cluttery, which I want to do because it drives me crazy. But you know, during the school day, you just don't have a lot of time to do that. So I did a lot of that kind of stuff, but I still have a lot of it left to do. Little nitpicky things. So I have a good start on things for when I come back. I have all my materials ready for teaching, which is really good. So I feel really good about things. So I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I gotta get my lesson plans done. And I can work on like the attendance for the report cards. But honestly, I don't have enough assessments graded to really worry about that right now. I did have the math assessment done, but I had a couple of kids that haven't taken it yet. I'm like, ugh. So I didn't want to mess with it over the break. I just left it there on my desk along with my other stuff. And I'm like, it'll get done next time, because I just didn't want to take it home and mess with it. I did bring home a whole bunch of stuff that I'd gotten for gifts and just some random stuff that needed to be taken home that fit in my bin. And I have a bag too. So I got some sweet gifts from my students and from one of the parents. Got some homemade cookies, yay, and some homemade like snack mix, looks really good. And I got like a bath set and a Starbucks gift card, always like those. I got a really cool pineapple light. I'll have to show you that when we go back in my classroom. It turns different colors. It's really cool. I switched my polite do not disturb neon sign thing. So I changed my Christmas tree to the snowman, and I just took the batteries out of the Christmas tree and put them in the snowman so they're ready to go. Changed all my calendars. Just kind of tidied up. Oh, I cleaned out a whole bunch of stuff off the top of my cubbies, that middle section that had so much junk on it. So there was a box that had my back to school pigeon stem stuff in it still. So I put that away. I also still had a bin for when I did the spider web bridges. So the cups were still taped together with masking tape, and there's still tons of yarn stuck in that. I pulled all the tape off of everything, yes, because I'm like, I'm not throwing these cups away unless they're broken and there's nothing wrong with them. I could use them for STEM next year too. So they're black cups. You can't find black cups like out in the stores very often. They only usually have them around Halloween time. And so I'm like, I don't need to buy these again. They're a little more expensive than regular ones. So I thought if there's nothing wrong with the cups, like they're not cracked or broken, I can spend 5 or 10 minutes pulling the tape off of them so I don't have to rebuy them. That'd be silly. So I had to throw 2 of them away because they had gotten cracked really badly. But all the other ones were good. So I think I still have 18 of them. And there were more of them somewhere else because I had some leftovers from the stack that they came in originally. So I just need to find those and put them all together. But I want to reorganize my cabinets still. My poor hands are so dry. They just started cracking and bleeding. They look terrible. So I need to get home and put some lotion on them. Like wash them really good and put some lotion on, because they are just bad, really bad. And I just get really super dry skin in the winter, and that just happens. Like it can happen, like my hands weren't cracked this morning, and now they are. I guess I washed my hands a lot today, and it's really dry in our building. So through the day, I didn't get to talk to you at all, I don't think. So no, I didn't, because I ate lunch with my colleagues, so that was nice. I just took my lunch, and I was bad, and I got a soda because I wanted one. So I just sat and I had a soda, and I talked to my colleagues, and had a nice relaxing time at lunch, and then I picked the kids up, and then it was time to go. But we got everything done except for the directed draw. I didn't get to that at all, but that's okay. We did everything else. I wanted to make it kind of relaxed today and enjoyable so they could just kind of chat with each other. I didn't want to make it real frazzly today and like, we have to get this done, we have to get this done, we have to get this done. So on my agenda was having them decorate their lunch bags for their parent gifts. Check, got that done pretty quickly. Then they could put the ornament that they had made for the school trees in that, and that was their parent gift because they had made that, and that's something they could take home and give to their parents. They finished up Christmas cards if they hadn't finished them yesterday. Then they got to do a Grinchy word search, and after that I think I read some books. And then I told them they could finish up their Grow the Grinch's Heart. So they went around and did that. And then I think it was time for the sing-along at that point. So we went to the gym, did the sing-along with the school, came back. While they were working on a mystery picture, which was like a 100s chart thing that ended up being the Grinch in a Santa hat, I was fixing the Grinch floats. And oh my gosh, I have a picture of them. I'll insert that here. So those were so good. Oh my gosh. So originally the recipe I'd found was like lime sherbet and Sprite. I went to Walmart. They didn't have any lime sherbet. I wasn't going to run all over Creation to look for it. So I used the ice cream that I had left over from the Halloween party that was still in my freezer as the Halloween party. So we had 2 big gallons of ice cream. So I was picking at that. So I finished that off. That was the perfect amount for the 17 students that I had at school today, plus a little bit for me. So I put a scoop of ice cream in the bottom of the cup. Then I poured like maybe a third of a cup of the green Hawaiian punch. I think it's Green Berry Rush. Then I put just like a couple drops, like blop, blop of Sprite to make it a little fizzy. Then I sprayed some whipped cream on top and put some sugar sprinkles, green sugar sprinkles. And they're so pretty. Yes, the kids loved it. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm like, yay, I'm glad, because I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought it sounded good. I hadn't tried it before. I just threw it together and went, let's give it a whirl. It went over really, really well. As a matter of fact, one of my students came up to me and said, what kind of juice is that? I said, it's just Hawaiian punch. Let's see what it's called. So I picked up the bottle. I'm like, oh, it's Green Berry Rush. He's like, trying to get it in his brain. He goes, I want to tell my mom about that. I really like it. I said, well, do you want me to just snap a picture of it and send it to her and remind? And he's like, yeah. So I need to do that still. But she'll get a kick out of that he wanted me to send her a picture of the juice that he really liked. I just get it at Walmart. It's no big deal to find it. But it was really good. It was really, really good. As a matter of fact, I stuck it back in my fridge so I could drink some of it when I come back, because it lasts a really long time. And I'm planning to be back sometime through the break to work on my room a little bit, make sure everything's prepared for lessons for that week. The 2 students that stayed behind and kind of helped me, the one got picked up, so they did not end up being a bus rider. They were a pickup, which was fine. And then the other one stayed until it was time to load the buses, and she helped me a lot. So she helped me finish rolling up the Louisville houses, and she went to the copier with me, and she took the papers as they came off the copier. And what else did she do? Oh, I had her take the papers off the bulletin board. So sometimes I send stuff home from the bulletin board. Most of the time I don't. I've been saving it back for their portfolios at the end of the year. So then they have like a year of their stuff. Sometimes I do let them take something home, because it is kind of nice to take something home and show your parents. But this class isn't really that worried about it, because they know they're going to get it later. So I've told them, you know, anything that you do that gets put on the bulletin board, it will go in your portfolio and you'll get it back at the end of the year. And they're very excited about that. So I have stacks and stacks and stacks of things that I've been saving, like I did last year. So this day was good. It went really fast, like I knew it would, but it didn't feel rushed and crazy. There have been half days before Christmas break that have felt like a madhouse. Like, I don't know if it was me trying to do too many things, probably, because I tend to do that, or the kids were just beyond themselves and couldn't handle it anymore. That could be too. But today just was really nice. I didn't have huge expectations. I knew testing was a dumb idea. I was not going to do that. They're in Christmas brain. They have a half day before they get on break. There is no way you're going to get them to focus on doing the setting of a story. No. So I just pulled out the Grinchy stuff that I wanted to do with them. That was just kind of fun, but it was also learning. I knew that I wanted to do some fun stuff with them today so they could have a nice little memory to take with them on their break. That was really nice. We did not clean out our cubbies. We should probably do that when we come back. And then I can go, that's been in there since last year. And they'll be like, Mrs. Bond. I was making all kinds of crazy jokes today, and they were just like, oh, I love this age. They, especially this time of year, most of them are old enough now that they get my silly puns. And it's really funny because they'll go, oh, that was bad. I'm like, it's so bad it was good, huh? And they're like, oh. One of my students came up to me today and said something about, I'm really glad you're my teacher. And I said, you got a crazy one, didn't you? And she goes, I said, but that's okay, isn't it? She's kind of like, she nodded her head and smiled. But that was really sweet. I said, you got a really crazy, silly one. You never know what I'm going to do you? And she's like, no. During the sing-along, we were singing Deck the Halls. And I had a really silly kid sitting next to me. Sometimes we stood for the songs, sometimes we sat for the songs. But when it got to the fa la 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 la, I would lean over to them and I'd go, la 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 la. And they were just cracking up. which is good because they were kind of in a not so great mood earlier. So I was kind of trying to mess with them a little bit and cheer them up so they wouldn't be in a bad mood. But periodically through the day, that student just seemed kind of mopey. And it may be because we were going on break and they weren't going to see all their class anymore because we're like a family. So I was trying to lighten the mood a little bit. So every once in a while I would catch a glance and they would be kind of sad looking, and I just kind of try to cheer them up a little bit and tell them how much fun they were going to have with their family, and they would get to share all kinds of great Christmas break memories when they came back, and that'll be really exciting to hear. So we will have a share time when we come back on that Monday, because they're going to be full of things to tell us. Like, they're going to need to be able to write about what they got for Christmas, where they went, what they did, who they saw, what they ate, what they watched, all that stuff. They have to be able to talk about that stuff because they're super excited about it. So we'll probably just turn that into a personal narrative, because that's something that we didn't finish before break. So I think I'll just let them use that as one thing to write about. They don't have to use that as their personal narrative, but they could use that as the stepping stone of one. Like, we don't have to go all the way to the publishing point with it, but I'd like them to write a draft about what they did over Christmas, because that would be a personal narrative and we'll have some starting point. And if they decide they don't want to continue that, they can do a different one, but that'll kind of give them a little sample kind of one. So my goal when we come back is to take that week and get a personal narrative written and published, which we can do. We can draft one day, we can finish the draft the second day, and then we can edit, revise, publish. Yeah. And I've got 2 different time chunks on some of the days that they can work on it, so they gotta get a break from it. You don't want to just beat it to death. Like, here, we're gonna write for 3 hours or something. That'd be crazy. I've got like a half hour here, so we can do like a mini lesson, a writing, a share out, then move on to something else. And at the end of the day, since we won't have intervention time, then we can do some more writing and get that done. So that'll be nice. It'll be a nice way to end the day, and they'll be able to share out before they go home. Okay, speaking of going home, I am almost there. So I will bid you adieu. This will probably be the last current vlog of 2019. Not meaning that I'm not going to catch you up on November, but I mean, I'm not going to probably vlog anymore this year. So you'll probably be getting the best of November clips and things coming up. I might vlog a little bit. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. See if there's anything interesting in my life that I want to share from my house. So we'll see. I don't have any big plans, but I don't have any big plans not to either. Not dead set against it. So like I said, we'll just have to see what happens. So whatever it is, it is. Merry Christmas. If I don't see you till after, Happy New Year, and I'll catch you later. Ooh, before I go, I forgot that I swung by my post office box yesterday, and I had a couple of sweet cards from some lovely people out there in YouTube land. So thank you very much. I appreciate your cards. They're very sweet. I'm very touched that you took the time to send them to me and to write nice little notes in them. And I hope you're having a good break. If you're already on break, you should be by the time you see this. And I look forward to talking to you more later.